Welcome to the Melanin Pals YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And today we are going to be talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus. If you have not seen, or how do you guys pronounce it? Arceus? Arceus?
Arceus?
I heard
always said
Arceus. Some
Arceus.
people say
I
heard it
Arceus.
was-
Well, they're weird.
Arceus?
I heard it was Arceus.
Is it
the guy
GIF or
said it on the
GIF?
trailer.
Let's
Oh,
figure
he
that.
said Arceus, but he's white. I want to hear somebody Japanese say it. For this
I think it's
trailer,
better to say
we will be
Arceus.
pronouncing
Yeah,
it
let's
as
say Arceus.
Arceus.
Let's do that.
If that triggers you, then feel free to turn on the captions and not listen to the video. Today, we are going to be talking about Pokemon Legends Arceus. If you have not heard of it, it is a recently announced Pokemon game from the Pokemon Day Direct from Nintendo. And Pokemon Legends Arceus is going to tell us a tale about Arceus in the beginning of the Sinnoh region. That's just about all we have because it's a game coming out in 2022 and we don't know much about it. But we were given some gameplay in the trailer and we were given a little bit of lore and backstory about what's going to be happening. So we're going to give a little bit of a trailer breakdown, talk about our thoughts, and we want to hear about what you guys have to say about it as well. The opening of this trailer shows wooden Pokeballs, as well as a female voice narrator speaking about a time when Sinnoh was just a big open field where Pokemon roamed free. Based on that information, I feel like this game is going to utilize a Pokedex similar to Sword and Shield, meaning we will get a hand-picked cast of Pokemon that fit in the environment. Should this tie into the lore, we may also get explanations as why certain Pokemon from other regions, for example Electabuzz and Magmar, were only first seen able to evolve in Sinnoh. The wooden Pokeballs are a nice touch to add to the Edo Sinnoh aesthetic, and I hope they add more into the lore of how Pokeballs became more effective over time. So let's talk about it. I feel like these Pokeballs are sick. I really like the wooden design. I really like the seal. I like the steam opening that comes out and then like it explodes. That could probably be a little bit of lore on how Sinnoh is the only region that really has those animations when you throw a Pokemon out.
Interesting, yeah.
I would like to be able to see them go in a little bit of detail about how Pokeballs operate in terms of what makes it an apparatus to be able to catch and hold, you know, these pocket monsters. Is it something that's you catch a Pokemon in it and it's more of a free will thing? Does it take away free will? Is there, you know, I just want them to go a little bit of more in detail on the history behind the Pokeball.
Yeah, along the same lines as you said of like free will thing, do you think they might incorporate that, something like a relationship bar or something like that, or like a friendship bar, where like if you don't spend time with them, like maybe they won't listen to you to a point where you kind of are forced to release them. So it would kind of like be this thing where like, oh, if you bond with them and like listen to them, then they'll listen to you.
Considering the game doesn't have gym leaders to be able to regulate the Pokemon you can catch.
So what is it? Just a Pokedex game, or will there be gym leaders?
There's definitely like battle mechanics.
Well, yeah, there is battle mechanics.
Based off of the phrase "a certain village," you can tell that means they don't have an official name for the starting town yet. If they don't have a name, this means that the plot as well may possibly be under development as well. So I want to be the first to say that along with the graphics, this isn't something we should judge off bat just by seeing the trailer, but it's also something that we should hope gets delayed by a few months, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
that dog roll.
Again, being in development for a year is perfectly fine. I don't have much worries, but this looks like a very lore heavy game, especially with bringing Arceus into it. So I would want them to take their time. If they need to delay it, then they can. But you know, they could brighten up that saturation a little bit. They could work on the art style rather than the graphics, and that's usually what makes a game pop in the first place, is the art style rather than the graphics.
Yeah.
Remember we were talking about the desaturation theory.
Yeah. Good point.
Because if you look at the Pokemon aren't desaturated. They're just as bright as ever. It's everything around them. And like this like I think that might be a weather mechanic, because the grass here looks relatively vibrant.
After the narration, we are shown the vast land of Edo Sinnoh, which looks incredibly similar to Hyrule Field. That was the first indication to fans that this would be an open world Pokemon game. But I've looked on the Nintendo website and I went to their Twitter, and unfortunately I have to be that guy, but this does not seem like it's going to officially be an open game just yet.
It's not open world.
To everybody who, everybody's asking for, like, I want this big open world Pokemon game. And when you think of open world, what do you think of? The first game that comes to mind is Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim was pretty fast.
See, I was thinking when I think open world, I think like games like Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's Creed's open world. Fallout is another
Fallout's
really
an
popular
example.
open world game, and that works great for those games. But the issue with a Pokemon open world game is, let's say you get into the wild and you run across something like a level 50 Steelix, like you do in Sword and Shield. There's a certain point where you have to start regulating where you can go, and especially with how Pokemon works, there's gonna have to be some sort of, I can't go here necessarily yet, and you need to finish this area, get a little bit stronger, and maybe in the plot it's gonna be like, you can't go here yet because you don't need to. I need you to go to this village all the way over here, then come back. Now I have another message for, there's some Pokemon who's over here. I just got the fucking details about this. And it kind of sends you from place to place like that. But although we have big open fields, that doesn't necessarily mean we should assume that it's an open world game. I hate to be that guy. This does not realistically look like an open world RPG. Real quick, if you want to see an open world RPG and why it's a terrible idea, here's an experiment.
Yeah. No, like Skyrim is open world, and there are moments like that where you're walking around, and then you'll encounter like the giants, and you're just like, yeah, you just know you can't go there until you come back. It could be that you might not encounter higher level Pokemon until like specific areas, until specific story beats in the game. Like in Skyrim, the dragons only really come out until after like a certain point in time. I think it looks fine. I think
Why the starters though?
I'll get into that.
What
I'll
stars?
get into that. I'll get into that.
what stars?
The starters.
in the
the-
game?
Oh, the starters. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll get into that. But before we talk about the starters, look, just simple, just 2 words, bro. Dodge roll.
The dodge roll.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, bro.
The dodge roll and the sneaking.
For
if,
what,
if we're
though?
okay with lumping those two together.
Yeah, because we have to talk about it.
My
would they-
I'm a little scared.
my hopeful side, my RPG, my Skyrim, my Dragon Age, my Dragon's Dogma side is hoping that there's a talent tree for your trainer, so that there might be like certain things that like I think a lot about the Pokemon D&D that we played. That maybe there's like different like trainer paths that you can like take. What I found interesting was you see it when she throws the Pokeball. There's a lack of a reticle.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that could be a talent tree, like being able to throw Pokeballs like outside of
Precision?
battle. Yeah.
Okay, that'd be sick.
Or yeah, I don't know.
I think the talent, or not the talent tree, I think the stealth is a beautiful thing. Introducing something to where we have to develop different ways to catch Pokemon instead of the same kind of straightforward measure. Even in terms of like seeing them in the overworld and being able to like stealthily come up to them, kind of similar to the Safari Zone, how you had different options there. If they were able to incorporate that but into an overworld, I feel like that would be beautiful. I was sitting here thinking, why hasn't Game Freak done this yet? And they delivered with this. This game is a game of dreams so far right now. The issue that I have with the stealth factor is that Game Freak or Nintendo, or whoever uploads the website, they have been on record and they said that this game is going to have the base gameplay of mainline Pokemon games. And I'll get into that a little bit later. But realistically, what point is there to add a stealth mechanic and a sneaking mechanic and all of these things so you can go out of your way to try to capture these Pokemon? If you can just go into battle, you could fight them and then capture them like it's old school. Because then it's a function that it's like the 3D meter on the 3DS. It's there, but who the fuck's really gonna use it?
Maybe there is maybe there's some kind of mechanic in a sense where basically like where the Pokemon, if it's not on high alert, maybe it's an easier chance of catching it.
Yeah,
Or
I was gonna
maybe
say
they're in a
like a
sense
sneak
of,
attack type of thing.
Yeah, like kind of almost like we're Safari Zone. It's like when they're like more on guard, when they're like angry or something like that, they're like much harder. No, sorry, when they're like more, on your more paying attention to you.
Because look right here, after he fights the Rhyhorn, and when he catches it, it looks like the Rhyhorn is in like a sleep state, because it looks like he's out of battle mode.
After clips of the overworld and a bit of how gameplay works, we are brought back to the professor's lab where we are given the absolute worst trio of starters since Gen 5. What makes it worse is that one of the starters is from Gen 5. On the outside, while this looks like blatant disrespect or ignorance on fan favorite Pokemon, the truth shows itself to be far more interesting and methodical. Cyndaquil, the fire mouse Pokemon, could have been chosen in reference to Nezumi Kozo, a folk hero from Edo, Japan who was a thief. Although his government name was Nakamura Jiro Kinchi, Nezumi translates to rat or mouse. Rowlet, the grass quill Pokemon, could simply be an addition due to his second evolution being an archer, which are famously used in Edo, Japan era, or going a step further could be included due to it famously being a god by the Ainu tribe of Hokkaido, Japan. Blackston's fish owl, otherwise known as Kotan Kor Kamuv, which translates to god of the village, was regarded as a divine spirit by the Ainu, and if you put a bow tie on it, it shows a striking resemblance to Rowlet. Oshawott, the sea otter Pokemon, evolves to a samurai twice, so there's that. Of course, this is all speculation and 5-minute Google searching, so I could be wrong, and I'm widely open to being wrong.
Ninjas.
And at the end of the day, it could have just been Game Freak calling or drawing names out of a hat and calling it a day.
If ninjas, why not Greninja?
I'm gonna get to that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to that.
I know,
I'm gonna
I
get
know.
to that. So and this is what a lot of you guys were saying, like, oh, there's other Pokemon. People are being like, you could have choose Charmander, you
Why
could have
not
did
Infernape?
Greninja,
Retired.
you could have do da-da-da-da-da. So I'm gonna get into that as well. Game Freak potentially could have chosen these starters that coincide with Edo Japan era mythology, but overall I can see how the starters we have now make more sense. Charmander and Squirtle both are good candidates, as the turtle and salamander are related to Kappa, but overall it is possible that Cyndaquil's present could correlate with the story in a way that we aren't familiar with yet. Also, Charmander is overused in everything. Torchic, more so Blaziken,
That's facts.
everything, dude.
Yeah.
More so, Blaziken almost fits the description of a legendary bird, Basan, only lacking the small detail of needing wings that produce flames as they flap. This would fit the description of what Moltres was possibly based on. Some people may have thought, well, what about Infernape? Oh, hold on. Some people may have thought, well, what about Infernape? And while a good observation, Infernape was just shy of making the cut due to being Chinese mythology, which is a few blocks down from Japan. Greninja is a ninja, and I actually don't have any reason why they didn't pick Greninja.
Everyone does. We know why.
But, oh yeah, and to that I say, go create a multi-million-dollar business and make your own game
All right.
with a ninja water monster on it. The samurai pick is interesting because in Edo, Japan, samurai were high class, and the clothes the protagonist is wearing show more of a similarity to commoners or farmers. And just about every other starter doesn't really fit the bill of the time period. You're fucking welcome. 5 minutes on Google. Figure it out.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I first saw the decision for starters, I was like, yeah, it seems kind of random, especially if it's Sinnoh based. Why not go with
The Sinnoh
Yeah,
I like
the original
I
Sinnoh
physically
starters.
reacted when I
Hey,
saw those starters.
But they've added the fire on Cyndaquil's back.
No, they shouldn't have, because he only has the fire on his back when he goes into battle mode.
yeah.
That's
So like,
well, we got it for you for the aesthetic. Yeah.
Cyndaquil stay
maybe
ready.
if they grow larger or they're more animated when he's that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Cyndaquil stay ready.
But yeah, when you brought up the mythological angle to it, I was like, it kind of makes more sense, which brought us to the original, which brought me to my theory as kind of like Three Houses or other RPGs. Do you think that depending on your starter will depend on what type of storyline?
I like that
you
theory
would
more
get?
than my theory. That would be
No,
fucking
or
Oh,
a
saying your
combination.
starter is
No,
your
that
path,
would
like
be
your path?
fucking sick if
Yeah.
you were able, because with Oshawott being like a high class samurai sort of thing, it would probably put you in a little bit of more nobility. With the archer, you kind of be like more so on the outskirts, and then with Cyndaquil, you're kind of just like you'd be a thief
Yeah.
type. Like, I don't know what the fuck
Wait, wait,
firehouse
wait,
people
wait,
do.
So is that sword class, archer class, and sneak class?
Yeah, exactly. That's
Um,
3 RPG elements right there. So I think that would be fucking sick if they took a chapter from Fire Emblem and your starter. I already think that your starter kind of has more presence on the story than they're leading us to believe.
Yeah. Because it seems kind of like a weird trio.
Yeah.
Probably based on your starter.
That'd be
cool.
that alone would like easily solidify it as one of the best Pokemon games.
That it was like that meme I showed you.
You might have Flap and the rich lady under your spell, but it's gonna take more than that to impress me.
Listen, if they just next trailer, right, opens up, right, your character's just walking down open world and just walks up and kicks the ever living shit out of a Bidoof, I'm sold. if your character can attack Pokemon, I'm sold, dude.
It's Nintendo, so they probably do something like you could pick it up and toss it aside, and then it'll like scurry off.
Yeah, no.
I was just laughing, like, imagine you're trying to like catch like something like you've really been wanting, like let's say you want to get that Garchomp, and just the Bidoof just happens just to jump in the down, like
Do you
just move in the way,
Kill it.
Yeah.
Kill it
do you
now.
think that, like during
throw the
mid
Pokemon
battle,
off a cliff.
because there have been horde battles. You think that there's a chance that other Pokemon will like join mid battle and it'll turn into like a 1-on-2?
That'd be wild.
That's
Oh my
where they
God.
probably should revise the whole entire standard battle system thing. It would have played a little bit too much like Breath of the Wild. Understandable, but Breath of the Wild is already a 10 out of 10 game, so who gives a shit? But you can already interact with what it seems like multiple Pokemon while not in battle. So how would that, I don't know, what's the animation gonna be like when you get into battle with one specific Pokemon? Is the other Pokemon gonna fuck off? Are they gonna wait their turn like they're in a train? Are they gonna like
They might just scurry out, like Lauren said. They might just scurry away.
so then that would fucking suck if you come across a rare Pokemon.
Yeah, that kind of would. I also, when you brought up the fact that like when it throws a ball and you see the steam and stuff like that, is this game gonna have crafting? Because the look of the wood in Pokeball and the fact that this takes place in like, you know, in like past times or whatever, it could be that you could craft your own Pokeballs based off like the materials you find.
That would be fun because we had that mechanic in Johto and everything, where you had someone do it for you. But now, if you're able to do it, you know, yourself, I think a lot of people will be able to love to do that, especially if you're making the same Pokeballs or maybe some of the sword. Because that was an old thing, right? That was like an ancient
Apricorns or whatever, right?
that was an ancient way, right? Wasn't it like an ancient way of actually making Pokeballs? Because he actually made it, like, you know, it took him a day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it took them a day.
Don't even get me started on that.
Which is, yeah, I definitely think that it would add to the Pokeball lore if they went out of their way to kind of spend a little more time on detail about these things. And it's something that people
there's
care
no
about.
way. There's no way they'll do it. There's no fucking way. Can you eat Pokemon?
Pokemon? This dude.
Like, wait, they already did that already.
Yeah, can you cook?
They already did that already, though.
Did they?
They already implied it in Johto with the slowpoke tail.
Remember the
No,
dude
I
was
mean,
trying
like,
to sell
you-
it
No, that.
I mean, like,
there's a
like,
difference
literally,
you
between a
catch a
slowpoke
Pokemon
tail
and then you cook it.
Oh, like catching and cooking.
Yeah.
yeah.
cooking,
There's
like,
no
for
way. There's no way.
survival, like,
There's no way. Because I just think like Breath of Wild, people were comparing it to Breath of Wild.
Yeah.
That especially that opening shot.
yeah, the same.
Yeah, and how you can.
shot.
Yeah. You,
Open world.
what I find interesting is the title is Pokemon Legends Arceus.
So will there be other legendaries?
I think it could give way to a Pokemon Legends games based off of Huo. I think it could give way to a Pokemon Legends games based off of the three dogs, and we get to see the birth of the three dogs, maybe as like a DLC.
That'd be cool.
I think because it's Arceus, you have to have Giratina.
Have to.
So you have to have a DLC
I'm
that
there.
deals with that. And honestly, I think that there's plenty of Pokemon that aren't legendary, mythical, or pseudo that deserve some sort of talking about as well, that could have their own legends. One being Torterra, another being who's a Pokemon that was supposed to be a legendary but didn't get a chance to.
Arcanine.
We could get a
Arcanine.
legend about Arcanine, about this big legendary dog that traveled through Sinnoh and left the trail of flames behind it wherever it went. And yeah, 100%. I think this definitely opens up to a new play style of Pokemon, so that way we don't have to have fucking Pokemon fucking 1 and 2 or Pokemon Square and Triangle.
Do you think your trainer will be able to get hit by Pokemon attacks?
I don't know what would happen. What would happen if you get you're a 12-year-old kid and you get fucking floored? Yeah. The hitbox on the dodge roll didn't turn out to be as good as you thought it did. And now you're like laid out in the middle of the wilderness.
Yeah.
It's real out here.
Yeah, it's real, bro.
I want to see how that dodge roll works on an earthquake.
On an earthquake.
The real Pokemon.
I want to see how that dodge roll works on an earthquake. Just that.
Yeah, no.
Get flown back.
Yeah, frames. Well, why show the dodge roll?
Because you're
They
dodging
have to be
the
swinging on you.
legendaries.
Yeah, I think they
They
grow.
have to be swinging on
They
you.
gotta swing.
I want to know
Can you
is
swing
what
on Pokemon?
if I get
Can you
backhanded
get a
by a
sword?
Machamp in the wilderness. Who is gonna be there to save me, bro? There's no
Pokemon.
whiting out, bro.
Because it is terrifying when they
What
chase
if you do black out?
It's
What if you do
terrifying when they
What if you
chase
do
you.
black out and you just wake up and you're just like shit? what
So
happened?
so you mean they just leave this unconscious carcass of meat in front of them and
It's
don't
real,
decide to
bro.
eat it? Like
It's real, bro.
Something has to happen.
You lost
bro.
all your money.
Just
Yeah,
the
they rob
champ.
you.
Just you lost all your money and a few of your
Machamp takes your
limbs.
wallet.
Just a Machamp just grounding, pounding you. While you're just
Don't come here again.
Legends is definitely the Pokemon game to look at. They have tons of potential. They have all eyes on them, and it's just a matter of how they deliver. But until 2022, we're all gonna be playing the waiting game. So let us know what your guys' theories are. You want to call anything out we said, even though it's all facts.
I'm calling out the talent tree right now. The trainer. I think
That'd be hype. That'd be
I'm
hype.
calling out the trainer talent tree, like a crafting talent tree, a sneak talent tree, a battling talent tree.
Yeah, let us know everything you think and want to say about this game.
Or research.
Hopefully, it's not like a Legends. It's not like a new franchise.
I kind of hope it is.
What would they do after?
Because
Arceus?
no more generations,
Rayquaza,
bro.
the fucking best
What
one.
the fuck? I don't want a generation.
We had
9.
Emerald, bro.
Like,
Yeah, but imagine
or like a deep
Emerald like
in-depth
this.
about Rayquaza.
yeah, like this, but
like in
yeah,
space.
they could the whole time.
Pokemon in space.
in space.
They could do a Legends for
5,
each region.
4.
That would be sick.
That'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
I'd really fuck
I mean,
with
it makes
that.
sense to
Like,
start with Arceus
Yeah.
because he's kind of like
It doesn't even. Yeah. Again, it doesn't even have to be in the region. We could have like
That'd be crazy.
We could have. How would Deoxys?
a Legends. Fucking Zygarde.
How would
Yeah.
Because they were at war.
Oh, they could bring characters back, like the guy
Yeah.
who was.
The old dude who's like 6,000 years old.
Yeah, they could 100%. They could do hella legend shit. All right. Also, this is outro. Bam. That's the
So,
outro.
that's the
'Cause
outro,
I'm not
okay.
using that. We need music for